Hello and welcome to Southeastern 16's coverage of the 25 MLB Draft. I'm your host, Chris Lee. Graham Doty about to join me shortly as the draft is set to kick off. We're going to have you covered from an SEC perspective and everybody, frankly. We got a list of anybody and everybody who's going to be drafted tonight. And tomorrow we've got all your SEC commits, all your SEC players. We've got an eye on the whole country. So looking forward to kicking off the draft coverage. I think the first pick is maybe going to be around 5:08. So we'll see as we're doing this right now. It is about 5 o'clock Central even. Anyway, welcome everybody. Join in on the chat. Give us your super chats, your comments, and remember to join the membership-only tier if you don't mind. We're thinking about, depending on how much interest we have, maybe doing a members-only show tomorrow for rounds 4 through 20, but we'll see. I think Graham is with me now. Let's splice him in. Graham, can you hear me?
Can you hear me? I got you.
Okay, I got you, but I can't hear your mic.
Okay.
So we'll let him work on his stuff and see if we can hear you. Anyway, we are up in just a minute. We'll be tracking the picks one by one, keeping track of who's gone, who's not. The Nationals have the first pick. From what I understand, on the board for number 1, Eli Willits, Oklahoma commit, in no particular order here. Kade Anderson, LSU lefty. Seth Hernandez, a pitcher out of California who's committed to Vanderbilt. And Ethan Holiday, another one of the Holiday brothers. Of course, his brother Jackson is doing really well with the Orioles, as after being the number 1 pick 2 years ago. He's an Oklahoma State commit. But we'll be getting underway in just a minute. Corey, tonight we have got 3 rounds. Now, the draft is going to be different this year. Graham, let's get a sound check, see if I can hear you.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Nothing doing. Okay.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. 3 rounds this year. It is a 2-day event this year. In the past, it has been 3 days. But you get 3 rounds tonight. And then you get tomorrow rounds 4 through 20. It has always been a 3-day event, or has for a while now. So I'm really interested to see how that changes the dynamic of the draft. It used to be round 1 was Sunday night. It says you guys can hear Graham. I can't. Okay, so let me try that. Maybe it is my AirPods. I don't know what's going on here. Graham, I'll give you the mic for a minute. I'll let the crowd hear you, even if I can't, and then I'll figure out what's wrong with my audio here.
Well, hey everybody. Hope everybody's summer's been great. It's always a fun time of year. We got the drafts. I rebooted and restarted my computer, so hopefully everybody can hear me. Hopefully we're good to go. Hopefully Chris's AirPods. You got me now? Okay.
Yeah, I guess the AirPod just didn't connect. That's what I use as my headsets. My apologies to everyone. So anyway, carry on.
Good deal. Well, now we're cooking.
Yeah, what are your thoughts as we get set to start here in just a minute?
Curious to see who's going to go 1 of 1, and then always fascinated to see, all these SEC names that, we talked about so much over the course of the past season, who goes where, how many will be in the top 10, 20, all that kinds of stuff. So, looking forward to it. To me, it doesn't really seem like anybody has a really good sense or feel yet of who's going to go 1 of 1.
Yeah,
I got it on the TV on the wall right here. So it looks like commissioner's about to walk out on the stage and get the ball rolling. But if it is Holiday, boy, what an athletic family,
Yeah.
I mean, how many family members, but also brothers, have gone 1 of 1? I mean,
no kidding.
Doesn't happen a lot. Obviously,
no, I don't think it's ever happened.
Well, Peyton and Eli did it, but I mean, that's a different sport.
Yeah. Yeah. Mike, if I had to guess, this is not based on any information, I'm going to guess it's Ethan Holiday. Just because he has been that level of prospect for a long time. To me, pitchers are just turning out to be bigger and bigger risks. Is nobody can go 200 innings anymore. It feels like we're headed to a day where everybody's just going to go 3 or 4 innings max if the arm injuries continue at the rate they do. So I just think the pedigree in him being what he's been for so long, a name we know, he's been top of draft radar forever. And Seth Hernandez has been up there too. Kade Anderson was not a guy unknown to pro scouts, but he was not in that 1-1 conversation before the season. And Eli Willett's been a top prospect for a while too. But I don't think I've seen him 1-1 in any mock drafts yet. So my guess, without knowing anything else, is it's Holiday, but we'll see.
I feel like we're going to see way more SEC pitchers than position players too.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to have, let's see, I expect SEC guys that I expect to go in the first round. Kade Anderson at LSU, Liam Doyle at Tennessee, Ike Irish catcher, so that's two pitchers and a catcher. Aloy at Arkansas, that's 2 pitchers, 2 position players. Keelan at Tennessee, that's 2 and 3. Laviolette, that's 2 and 4. Gage Wood, that's 3 and 4. Andrew Fischer, that's 3 and 5. Who am I? Oh, I'm missing Kyson Witherspoon. So it's close. It's close to a 50-50 split.
Yeah.
By the way, I think to me, this is not a mainstream opinion. If I'm taking a pitcher first in this draft, it is Kyson Witherspoon. I'm not, no knock on
because of
any of the other guys. They're all great. I like his repertoire, and I love what's between his ears.
I think I talked about this on one of our shows. So when I did the OVC baseball tournament, scouts are everywhere. So I was talking to one of the scouts there, and Kyson Witherspoon was brought up, and he was telling me that the thing about Kyson, like right now, he's got 2 pitchers that are two pitches that are identical. Like when you look at the chart and the spreadsheet and everything, like his slider is almost identical to his cutter. And so he said he's either going to have to do 2 things. Number one, like he's going to have to like really work on both pitches and really separate them, and he can be even more dangerous that way, or he's just going to have to focus on one and just throw one.
Yeah. Well, he's got like 5 pitches.
Yeah.
So, and they're all pretty good. So if you eliminate one, that's still 4. I mean, you got 4 good pitches you can play in the majors for a long, long time.
Mm-hmm.
And plus, we know how much that kid works at stuff. So,
right. And when I say like scouts, all these teams, organizations, when I say they have information, like they have an insane amount of information. And so like they literally have notebooks on these guys or tablets, and they break it down pitch by pitch, chart by chart. So they got anything and everything you can think of.
Yeah. To reset the draft, first pick will be here probably in a couple minutes. First round, I guess if you include the comp picks, is going to be 40 picks. Second round is going to be, let's see. Well, let me just tell how many picks we're going to hear tonight. That's really what we're getting at anyway. 105. So I think this is new. I don't think we've had that many picks on a night 1 of the draft. What I think is going to be interesting will be how the dynamics change between day 1 and 2 instead of 2 or 3. Because what would happen before, a guy might not get picked in the top 10 rounds, but then some phone calls were made overnight, and executives would say, hey, look, Billy, we saved a bunch of money. We've got some guys that are going to sign under slot. We got $1 million we can throw at you. If we take you tomorrow in round 11, will you take it? You've only got 1 day to do that now. And the territory you're getting into is all going to be elite-type players. So I'm going to be really interested to see how it looks between days of the draft. Rundown of SEC position players. I'll tell you who I think is going to go tonight. I'll just give these roughly in the order that I've got them. I've kind of got a composite of all the major services. Guys I think you'll see go today: Kade Anderson at LSU, Liam Doyle at Tennessee, Kyson Witherspoon, Oklahoma, Ike Irish, Auburn, Wehiva, Aloy, Arkansas, Gavin Keelan, Tennessee, Jace Laviolette, A&M, Gage Wood, Arkansas, Andrew Fischer, Tennessee. Riley Quick, Alabama. Max Ballou, Texas. Anthony Einson, LSU. Zach Root, Arkansas. Dean Curley, Tennessee. Charles Davalon, Arkansas. J.D. Thompson, Vanderbilt. Ethan Petrie, South Carolina. A.J. Russell, Tennessee. Henry Ford, Tennessee. He was a player at Virginia who's now a Tennessee commit. I think he'll probably get picked high enough to go. And from there, we've got Marcus Phillips, pitcher at Tennessee. Daniel Dickinson at LSU. Chase Shores at LSU. Mason Morris, Ole Miss. Easton Carmichael, Oklahoma. That's about who I expect to get picked tonight. Could see Luke Hill from Ole Miss. Malachi Witherspoon of Oklahoma. Justin Lampkin at A&M. Jared Spencer, Texas. Nate Snead, Tennessee. And maybe Landon Beidelshees at Arkansas. And Tanner Franklin or Trey Phelps at Georgia. Those are the guys that I've got my eye on to go tonight.
Yeah, we'll find out here shortly if Anderson's going to go 1-1. It's also fascinating, like these guys, these high school guys that are committed to an SEC team, like how many, if any, are going to end up in the SEC for the next 3 years?
Yeah, you got a ton of commits too. Guys, I think I'm watching in the first round commitments. Seth Hernandez, Vanderbilt. Billy Carlson, Tennessee. Did we get a curveball here?
Yeah.
So somebody overslotted or underslotted, I'm presuming.
They went with
Eli Willits,
Willits,
Oklahoma commitment. How about that?
His dad is on staff of OU, and his brother obviously is on the team.
Yep. That was one of the 4 names I was given for the first pick. He's the one I thought was going to be the least likely, though. So, yeah, not that Oklahoma was expecting to get him through the draft.
Man. Well, I can tell you his dad has done something right. If one of his kids is on the team in Norman now, and then the other one went 1-1. It's on the screen right now. Their dad, Reggie, was a 7th-round pick by the Angels in 2003. So this is a baseball family.
Geraldo Perdomo is your comp. That's interesting. Yeah. Buddy of mine in the industry sent me a text, said that his agent is Boris, and he's close with their GM, apparently.
Yeah, and if you don't think that plays a part in it, I mean, let's get real.
Yeah, let's see. Other guys that I would think are SEC commits are going to go off the board, maybe first round. Let's see. I think I got through Carlson, Jojo Parker at Mississippi State, Cason Cunningham at Texas, Daniel Pierce at Georgia, Steele Hall, Tennessee, Gavin Fine, Texas, Slater De Brun, and Sean Gamble at Vanderbilt. We'll see what happens with Cruz Schoolcraft at Tennessee. I would think he would go, given the range he's mocked in. Quentin Young at LSU, Jaden Fausk at LSU, Aaron Watson at Florida. Let's see. Brady Ebel, LSU, Cam Appenzeller, Tennessee, Alec Blair, Oklahoma, Briggs McKenzie, LSU, Jordan Yost, Florida, Landon Harmon, Mississippi State, Cooper Fleming, Vanderbilt, Coy James, Ole Miss, Dean Moss, LSU, Miguel Sime Seam, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, at LSU, Talon Haley at Vandy. I think Aaron Stillman, Vanderbilt's going to get him through the draft in that range. Trent Grindlinger, catcher for Tennessee. Yeah, that's kind of what we're looking at here.
By the way,
Maybe a few others.
His frame looks pretty big for a shortstop. Like, is that where he's projected to stick, or will he have to get shifted over to third? I
mean, I wouldn't think you're taking the third baseman with the guys on the board at that pick, unless he's just a absolute masher of a hitter.
Unless he's Chipper Jones.
Right. Well, Chipper was drafted as a shortstop, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm watching all these highlights of him. It's like, this guy's built like a linebacker. Robert, that's funny. He says, find somebody who loves you as much as Chris loves making Vanderbilt a one-word syllable. Is that this Chris or Chris Burke on the broadcast?
I don't know.
I'm the broadcast muted. War Eagle 17, I think he's going to go top 15. Last I saw, he's projected in the 11 spot for Ike Irish. I mean, maybe higher. We've already
There's
had
talk about him slotting higher.
Yeah, we've already had a surprise with 1-1, or surprise to me at least.
Here's another interesting. We got Mississippi State brothers as commits. The Parkers, Jacob and Jojo.
Yeah,
both could go tonight.
I watched them in high school. They're the real deal. Like, they're incredible. Could you imagine if they I don't think it's going to happen, but could you imagine if they end up at State for O'Connor?
Yeah, that would be something. They've already got a monster transfer class.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Angels
All right,
on the clock.
I think Kade Anderson is coming next. We'll see. That's what an industry source thinks.
Oh, wow. It's not Anderson.
No.
It's Tyler Bremer from UC Santa Barbara.
What? I'd heard about him being – that's great. That is a look to save money pick. Holy smokes.
Man. Well, their first round pick a year ago was already playing in the show, so safe to say you don't feel the same way about this one.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen Bremer pitch. I know he's been on the scouting radar for a while.
I don't even know what conference that is. UC Santa
Midwest.
Is it?
Uh-huh.
That's Fullerton and all them?
Yep.
Okay.
I mean, Santa Barbara's had some players. Yeah, I mean, and obviously that's a slot deal.
Yeah. Congrats to him, but I mean, the first two picks already out of the gates, like, we're 0 for 2.
No joke. I mean, Bremer was down in the teens from, in terms of like where he's ranked as a prospect. This is the thing that drives me bananas about this draft, that kind of stuff.
Well, it's the only draft where it happens. Like, this doesn't happen in the NFL. This doesn't happen in the NBA. Where, like, money is such a big factor. This is for the state of Mississippi, by the way. This is a big class, like high school wise, and some of the position player guys at Ole Miss.
Yeah, by the way, we've got a new sponsor. Let me have you give them a quick shout out.
Yes, guys. So one of our new sponsors, it's Rockform. You see the logo in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. So if you're in the market for a new cell phone case or like a car mount, these guys make the top of the line products to protect your phone and everything. If you go on YouTube and just type in rock form, like they do some wild stuff, like just how they make their cases and like how strong they are. Like they'll drop bowling balls on them and everything, and like they won't crack or anything. Why I like them and why my wife and I have them. We have now a 6-month-old baby, so we knew that we got new phones, so obviously we needed new cases. Jumped in that pool, and that's how we kind of discovered rock form. And I can't talk about how much I love them. They're magnetic, so like if you got your hands tied up, you can put it on the fridge, like whatever, and it'll stick to whatever you need your phone on. So like I can't recommend it enough. 10 out of 10. Absolutely love mine. I know you'll love yours if you get one as well.
Yeah, I can't wait. I've got some on order. Looking forward to getting those for sure. All right, at number 3, we've got Seattle. And again, the top 4 guys that were in contention for 1 overall were thought to be Willits, Holiday, Anderson, and Seth Hernandez. So,
wow, Toki says he ran over his cell phone with a tractor. If you would have had a rock form case, you would have nothing to worry about. I can honestly
that's not good.
That has never happened to me. I've never have dropped my phone underneath the tractor. By the way, who's this insider on the draft? I've never really have seen him.
Well, let's get. I know that Greg Amsinger is on there. They're showing the board right now. So
the guy,
Tony Vitello was on there.
By the way, Tony V was at UFC last night. Did you see that?
With a lot of people, right?
In Nashville, rocking like a cowboy hat.
Okay, we've got, let's see, that's Amsinger, Harold Reynolds, Vitello. It looks like Mark DeRosa, but I don't think that's him. And then Dan O'Dowd. Okay. Where's that DeRosa?
Here come the Mariners pick. Boy, Rob Manfred, every time I see him speak, it's like he wants to be anywhere but wherever he is. Here's Kade Anderson to Seattle.
Okay.
So first SEC selection.
Pretty good place to pitch.
Yeah, with a great track record too. His highlights are just nothing but strikeouts after strikeout. By the way,
you're pretty pleased.
What a run for LSU. Skeens 2 years ago, 1-1, and now Anderson goes third 2 years later.
Yeah.
If that's not a selling point recruiting-wise, I don't know what is.
Not to mention Cruz is a first-rounder, obviously a position player, not an arm. And Tommy White was a first-rounder last year, wasn't he? I believe.
Did he go?
He was in the Futures games yesterday, by the way.
Have you ever been to that? I've been to one Futures game. It's actually pretty fun.
No, watched a few on TV.
I went to when it was in Kansas City, whatever that was, like 8-9 years ago. I brought tickets for my dad. It was on his birthday, and we went. It was a lot of fun. Tommy White was the first pick in the second round.
Yeah, he did cut his hair off. He looked like a much different guy. Had maybe lost some weight too. That's DeRosa. That's who that is.
Next to Ravitch.
No, Ravitch isn't in there. It's left to right. Amsinger, Harold Reynolds, Tony Vitello, DeRosa, and Dan O'Dowd.
Oh, I'm ESPN.
Oh, are you watching ESPN? Okay, I'm watching MLB.
Okay. Boy, that's a big deal that Tony V's on that.
That's 2 years in a row, I believe.
So Nashville last night, Atlanta today. My man's all over the place. Cody, I don't disagree. I'm right there with you. In the chat.
Yeah, that got some news this week.
But I mean, hey, it is what it is. Everybody does it.
So who's on ESPN's coverage?
Chris Burke, Kyle Peterson, Carl Ravage is like the host anchor. Whoever their baseball insider, I don't know who it is. It's not Jeff Passan.
Okay.
And then their main analyst for Major League Baseball. What's his name? Eduardo?
Oh, Eduardo Perez.
Yeah, Perez.
I'm trying to decide whether to change channels. I could pull the iPad up is what I could do. That's what I'll do.
My bet would be MLB Network would have a better broadcast. But again, I'm watching it on mute.
Okay, Hunter says Kylie McDaniel. That makes sense. He's pretty good.
Okay. Are we surprised that Holiday hasn't been picked yet, even though he was just everybody thought potentially one of them?
I mean, I am, but I'm also kind of not because it's baseball and weird stuff happens. You're hearing, in fact, I know what it was I was thinking a minute ago. There's a really good account I follow. I don't know whose it is, but it goes by MLB Executive Burner on Twitter. And he said the story. Remember, the Rays made I guess it was the Rays. The Rays traded 37 overall to, I think, Baltimore this week for a player. They said the story behind that pick is the Rays wanted to save money. They have no cash.
Yeah.
So that's what, a $2 million slot value plus?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's 3.38 to be. No, I'm sorry. That's not the pick, but it's the $2.5 million range.
Here comes the Rockies pick.
I wonder if this is Liam Doyle.
They need pitching in the worst way.
Pitching just does not ever work out for them.
Well, they didn't do it. They went with Ethan Holiday. So
okay, I like it.
Of sorts. So his dad was awesome there, and now they get his son.
Yep.
Jeez, he's 18 and he's 6'4", 210.
The Rockies are kind of an organization that does dumb stuff too. So to see them make a decent pick is a little surprising.
Well, I mean,
although everybody in the world knows who Ethan Holiday is, so
yeah, it's a safe pick. Just the thing for them, like, you know, they just showed on the graphic Charlie Condon is their top prospect. Like, they just need him to get healthy. Because if they hit on Condon and Holiday, you know, that's a good duo to have.
Yeah. Condon, last I looked, had not been hitting.
Well, I mean,
I don't know what he's done the last few weeks. He'd been hurt a lot, too.
Yeah, he just hasn't been healthy. I mean, what are the odds of both of your sons being lefty?
Might have been engineered that way. Who knows?
Yeah.
While we're in a lull here, reminder, help out those who help our show. That is Game Time Sidekicks. I've got my water here. I will be sipping out of the 40-ounce tumbler. GameTimeSidekicks.com. They have officially licensed stainless steel drinkware. They've got all SEC schools, over 350 other universities, top of the market quality for construction, double wall vacuum insulated stainless steel, all the logo printing and decoration done in Knoxville, tons of designs and logos for every school. They've got your national championship line. This is just one of the many LSU ones they have commemorating the Tigers Natty this year. You can also see this one. It's a little bit bigger. These things are solid. They are well made. They keep your drink hot or cool, whatever they are supposed to do. And they've got the College Vault line, which not a lot of people have. I drink out of these things literally every day. I've got one for my water. I've got one for my morning caffeine. And I don't know what I'd do without them now. They're just so good, and they're so good looking. Go to GameTimeSidekicks.com. Use promo code SE16. That'll get you 20% off your order, and you will be glad you did. Graham, these things are amazing.
They are. So I have 6. We had them before, or my family, we had them before they were a sponsor. We are loyal through and through. So they're great. They're great if hot, cold, whatever you like your drink of choice. They're fantastic. Can't recommend them enough. They just showed Ike Irish on the screen. Cardinals are on the clock.
Irish was one that's been talked about because he is in the rankings, I think around 11-ish. There was talk that he might go higher than that based on that. I don't know if he's perceived as a bonus savings or what, but I'll tell you what, the guy can flat out hit. Nobody hit better in SEC play this year than Ike Irish did.
Were his numbers, were they higher than Ace Reese?
Yes.
Jeez. Well, hey, give me either one of those guys. I'll feel good about it. So, yeah, Cardinals on the clock. I learned this week that Busch Stadium is built on top of where they had the battle for St. Louis in the Revolutionary War.
By the way, Brandon, odds of both kids getting – I assume he's talking about the Mississippi State kids, or was he talking about –
I said, what are the odds of Matt Holliday's sons being both –
Oh.
And then he said, what are the odds of them both being drafted as highly as they were? It's like both very small, but probably the draft's got to be a lower number.
Yeah, ESPN's got a pretty good crew, too. I mean, those guys saw more college ball than the guys on the MLB desk.
Yeah. Especially with Kyle Peterson on there and Burke.
Yeah, right.
Now, the MLB network guys are going to have a better feel for each organization. All right, here we go. Here comes the pick. Busy week in Atlanta, by the way. We got the draft.
Yes.
3 media days. Oh, Liam Doyle.
Okay.
Louis Cardinal.
Heard him connected with several teams. I don't know that I heard him connected with the Cardinals at any point.
Let me tell you what's not going to fly. Like him doing all that insane stuff on the mound.
No, I have a feeling that will be coming to an end.
That fan base won't put up with that. That's just not what they do.
Are you a Cardinal lover or Cardinal hater, or do you just don't care?
I'm kind of indifferent. And where I live, you get a lot of Cardinal fans because back in the day, like that was the closest Major League Baseball team around before the Braves moved to Atlanta. So like you get and still to this day, you can on a clear night, you can get KMOX. Like you can listen to them on the radio if that's your thing. But
like if you don't like them, the whole smartest fans in baseball thing grates on people. I really don't care. There's just not a lot of pro baseball teams I just can't stand.
Yeah, same. Um, Now, like when my dad was growing up and stuff, I think I told you this, but my grandfather, my dad's dad, he was a judge, and so part of his deal, they got unlimited. They could go anywhere on a train for free. Like that was just part of the deal. So they would go to Cardinals games all the time when my dad was growing up. So like he went to the World Series, like got to see Bob Gibson pitch and all that. My dad is a diehard Mets fan, though.
Oh, interesting.
Because for the longest time, not anymore, the Mets AA team was in Mississippi, and he went to the games all the time.
Best player left on the consensus board I've got is Ava Arquette at Oregon State, followed by Jamie Arnold. There's been some talk that Arnold could slip. I'm not sure that's based on performance or ask.
You mean Jamie Arnold?
Yeah, what did I say?
I think you said Jackson.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, if Jackson Arnold gets picked, we have news.
What's this say? Sam Smith. Tony V on Doyle. Other teams had his grips.
Interesting. So he was tipping pitches?
Well, remember, like towards the tail end of the season, you remember like he literally had to turn his back towards home plate.
Mm-hmm.
And like grip his pitch that way.
Well, that would explain some stuff.
Yeah.
For a while, it seemed like it just didn't matter. He could just throw that four-seamer and you weren't hitting it, even if you knew it was on the way.
Yeah, but you know how it works. Like every game
Sure.
is on TV now, so everybody gets film on you, and these coaches and these support staff, they just watch it for hours and they pick up anything over time. I thought it was interesting. Remember Liam went to Omaha. You remember that? Like he went to Omaha, was like on the field. They showed him on the broadcast.
Really?
Yeah. He didn't just go by himself. He was there for whatever he was up for. Was he up for Golden Spikes?
Oh, yes, yes. Okay, now it makes sense. Did the Braves finish the Cardinals off today? It was in a rain delay last I looked.
I don't know. I haven't had a chance to look. Like, do you watch the Braves every day?
I've got an 11-year-old son who is far from giving up on the season. So, yes.
Is he dialed into Major League Baseball?
Yes, very.
So like, he's one of the few then.
Like, he was literally going to sit beside me off camera and watch the draft with me until his best friend came over. Now they're playing NCAA 2026 in the bonus room behind me. I can hear them. I don't know if you can. Yeah, he is dialed in. He was looking up draft stuff today and who the Braves are taking and all that.
If you're Major League Baseball, like that's like you gotta, like that's your market. You know, you gotta focus on it, and because you don't want to lose them.
Yeah, he will stay up.
We're not getting a lot of SEC arms.
No, we're not.
We just got a high school arm from California.
Is that Seth Hernandez?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Vandy commit. Not a shock to see him go in that range.
I was about to say he's not going to Nashville.
No, he wasn't anyway, but yeah, David is into cards. Like he will stay up and watch baseball. We've got two big screens behind me. We'll have one on the Braves and we'll have one on MLB, which like right now they're doing their version of not Red Zone, but they'll show 4 games at once, and we'll sit up there and watch that until We get the text from upstairs. It's like it's time for him to go to bed.
See, when I was a kid, like I was so dialed in for Major League Baseball. Like it was probably either my first or second favorite. Like I could have told you everything about the Braves, like all that. Now that was also the peak Atlanta Braves. But nowadays, like Major League Baseball, they just make it so hard for fans. Like I think regionally it's healthy, like in different parts of the country, but just nationally, it's just not in a good place at all.
Yeah, they have slipped in popularity. Now, I think the game right now is tremendous.
Yeah, the product,
the pace of play.
Yeah, the product is great, but it's just the way they market it. It's just not good.
Well, the one thing I don't like is all the pitching injuries, and I don't think that's an MLB thing. I think that goes back to travel ball and overuse. But I hate that we don't see. We grew up with guys that would throw 200 innings regularly, and now it feels like if someone gets there, it's a miracle.
Yeah. Robert, to answer your question, Central Mississippi, like your guess is as good as mine. They do have a team there now. I think they're called like the Mississippi Mud Monsters or something like that. That's an independent league team. They play in the long time AA stadium that the Braves had in right outside of Jackson. So the bottom line is like they didn't take good care of that stadium, So the Braves left and they went back. I think they're in Columbus, Georgia now, I think is where they went. But like if somebody does it, it's going to have to be an organization that is going to put some money into the stadium. That area where the ballpark is in Pearl, it's nice. Like there's a Bass Pro there, there's a mall, like it's a good setup and everything. Like I've done countless broadcasts there, minor league baseball, high school, college, like you name it. So the area is fine. It's just kind of tricky in Mississippi, like baseball wise, everybody cares about Ole Miss, Mississippi State, or Southern Miss. Like everybody puts all their energy into that. Like you're just not going to get a lot of, you're not going to get 8,000 people to go to a minor league baseball game in Mississippi. Like you're just not. So could they get another team? Maybe, but I would be surprised if it happens like relatively soon.
By the way, top 10 based on the little composite I put together of guys that are still on the board. Ava Arquette at Oregon State, Jamie Arnold, Florida State, Kyson Witherspoon, Oklahoma, Billy Carlson, Tennessee commit, Jojo Parker, Mississippi State commit, Ike Irish, Auburn, Kaysen Cunningham, Texas, Wehiva Aloy, Arkansas, and Merrick Houston at Wake. Then Gavin Keelan is the next one. So a lot of talk about Aloy and Houston maybe dropping. I think that was on Baseball America this week. Aloy because of the swing and miss issues, and for Houston it was the home road splits. Well, the Wake plays in a bandbox of a park.
Boy, I think if they took him though, like you would get a lot of Arkansas fans that are Astro fans.
Sure.
There's probably a lot of crossover with those two anyway.
Hunter asks about Jack Bauer. I think, is he a Virginia commit or did he flip to Mississippi State?
Hold on, I'll pull it up.
He was a Virginia commit. I can't remember if he was one of the many that flipped.
He
did flip. Yeah. Okay. I think the thought on him is control is kind of a big issue. And a lot of guys that throw that hard in high school, that is just an arm injury waiting to happen. Mm-hmm. So if he's asking for first round money, I think I'm passing if I'm a big league team. I haven't watched him pitch. I haven't scouted him extensively, but that's just my thought on that.
Oregon State stop off the board.
Yeah, he was a guy in the 1-1 talk before the season. He started at Washington and then transferred to Oregon State. As a huge shortstop with the bat.
He didn't have a good tournament, did he? If I remember.
I don't remember. I know that the kid from UCLA, Chalowski, didn't. Or maybe both of them didn't.
Boy, his highlights on defense are incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Cody, don't get me started on blackouts. Blackouts drive me crazy for Major League Baseball.
Yeah. We spent a fortune between apps and whatever.
Yeah. You want to know what market North Mississippi gets? The Cincinnati Reds. That's our market.
What, you get them or they're blacked out?
No, but that's who we get.
Okay.
Like, we're blacked out from the Braves, like all that.
Yeah, we're blacked out. Braves and Reds. Of course, I've got FanDuel, so I get them both. That's like the one thing I pay for. I don't golf or do stuff like that, so I can kind of get away with it. We probably spend more than we should.
Yeah, because it's a commitment, isn't it? It's like
It
30
is.
a month. Yeah. They're interviewing Holiday on ESPN.
Leave us your questions, your comments. Super chats are always appreciated. That's a way to help the channel. Just asked about Banana Ball. Thoughts on that? I've never seen them live. My son went last summer and loved it.
Okay. They're making the rounds in some SEC ballparks this summer. Like they're coming to Starkville in August. I know they're coming to Fayetteville. They probably should go to Nashville. They could probably sell out the Titan Stadium. So here's where I am with the Savannah Bananas. Like, I love them. I don't know why people hate them. Like, if you don't like them, cool, don't watch them. But like, it's a good family product. Like, guys, you don't sell out football stadiums 3 nights in a row on accident. So like, you're doing something right. So like, there's very clearly a market for it. I'm gonna try. They got 2 guys on the team that played at Ole Miss, so I'll try to get them on at some point, just because I think that'll be cool. Like, what's a normal day like? You know, how do you plan and prepare for all of it? But I think it's great. Like, it's just good family entertainment. You know, like, you don't have to worry about anything. You just show up to the baseball stadium, football stadium, and you'll have a good time. And like, your money will be well earned and spent. So that's kind of how I view it. Just the people that, like, they're not playing like your typical baseball game, and that's fine. Like, this is what the Harlem Globetrotters were in their heyday, you know?
Yeah, I don't get the hate over it. Who are the 2 Ole Miss guys on the team?
Peyton Chatinier, middle infielder. I don't know what he's going to do for the Savannah Bananas. And then a left-handed pitcher, Zach Phillips. I think he was one and done. He was a JUCO transfer. I think now they got more SEC guys on their roster, but those are the 2 Ole Miss flavors. And like, it's so popular now that it's like there's more teams than the Savannah Bananas. Like, one of the teams is Party Animals. I don't know the other ones, but it's growing. And the story, like, the guy that did it, like, literally put his house up as like collateral. I mean, like, he went all in, and it's working. So it's a great story.
We had the glow in the dark version of that in Nashville about a month ago that we went to.
Yeah. And like, the big thing for them, Ernest just touched on it. Like, they got the deal with ESPN. So like, they got a handful of games this summer that'll be on ESPN. And who knows, like, remember, ESPN just dropped Major League Baseball. So you could see them on TV way more. By the way,
okay,
Jojo,
your second SEC pick is gone. Jojo Parker to the Blue Jays.
out of Purvis, which is kind of South Mississippi.
Second SEC commit. Sorry, not sure what I said, but yeah, he's got a brother who we could see go today also. So Jamie Arnold still on the board. Kyson Witherspoon. Give me that kid all day.
Yeah. So we are at pick. So
9.
8 picks in. Okay.
The Reds. Could be Ike Irish here.
It's kind of close to where he's from. He's from the Midwest.
He's from Detroit.
The state of Mississippi has been on a good run here lately with high school draft picks. You want to know who was fun to watch in high school? Billy Hamilton.
Oh, my goodness. Who was he committed to?
State, I think. But he was first team All-State in 3 sports. Like, you talk about a freak of an athlete.
He had to be like a slot receiver or a running back.
Yeah, it was get the ball in his hands and let him do his thing.
Irish would play really well in Cincinnati. And I feel like they've stocked up on pitchers a lot lately.
Well, I guess my question with him, like, is he going to be a catcher or is he going to be an outfielder?
They've got a catching prospect, Alfredo Duno, who's pretty interesting. Plus, they've got Stevenson up there, too. So, they could – I would think he would go somewhere else.
So,
play right.
Yeah, Hunter Johnson, that is incredible. State could have 4 commits drafted tonight. By the way, letting everybody know, if you want to buy stock in a program, buy stock in Mississippi State baseball.
No doubt.
Like what they are putting into that program, look out. I just think it's funny. Like, remember we had that great conversation with Butch before the season started, and he was raving about Ike and the catcher position, like how much he improved, how much he earned it, and then he gets hurt and he misses like 2 weeks, and then Fralick was so good behind the plate. They were like, let's just keep Fralick in the catcher spot, and we'll just put Ike in right field, and that's kind of what they did for 3 months. And obviously it worked, but that wasn't the plan for Auburn and Ike Irish going into this season. Like, he was going to be the everyday catcher.
Yeah, he called about a dozen games, and Fralick is getting – it's really, really early, right? So a 27 draft, I don't know what it means, but I was looking at one the other day, and Fralick was considered a first-rounder. So –
Already?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't he lefty?
Don't remember.
I want to say he hits lefty, but either way, like, that kid's a stud.
Irish does. You mean is Irish a lefty? Yeah.
No.
Fralick? I'm not sure.
Benson says he is a lefty. So if that matters, you don't get a lot of left-handed catchers.
Yeah, I think at that point too, Irish was such a game changer. I think you just don't mess with it. You could be minding your own business, take a foul tip or something, and it could just be over for you. I think that was
– yeah.
Butch Thompson had to love the way that played out.
The Reds are taking their time.
They sure are.
Okay, here it comes. High
Steel
school
Hall,
from Alabama.
Tennessee commitment, I believe.
Yeah, no way he's going to Knoxville.
Gosh, why do you pass on Ike Irish there?
Yeah. Like this kid, he's only 17. Wow. He may be awesome, but Ike Irish is like proven to me at least like today.
Still no Arnold or Witherspoon.
Yeah. How many SEC picks so far? Like 2?
Kade Anderson, Liam Doyle are your players. Your commits are Eli Willits, Seth Hernandez, Jojo Parker, and Steele Hall. Oklahoma, Vanderbilt, Mississippi State, Tennessee, respectively.
To me, that's a little surprising. You only get like 2 SEC college guys so far. This kid, they're showing his interview. He looks impressive. He does not look and sound like a 17-year-old.
Benson's alma mater.
What's the nickname? What are we working with? Benson in a box. What was your high school nickname, team-wise, Chris?
The Commandos.
The Commandos. That's unique.
Yeah, it got messed up constantly.
I bet. Sam.
Because nobody's expecting that.
Yeah.
Sam. Yeah, that got some that certainly got mentioned.
Yeah. Sam, you're right, by the way. Still Hall will play baseball in East Tennessee, but it will be for the Lookouts.
Are they building a new park?
Yeah, they
Gosh.
are. In downtown Chattanooga. And the Smokies are too. Remember?
How many ballparks does Chattanooga have now? That would be like 3.
Not the Smokies. Yeah, the Smokies, yeah. So Knoxville and Chattanooga are getting new ballparks. Meanwhile, Nashville's like, we'll just put a new video board in the outfield.
Well, Nashville's isn't that old.
Yeah, it's nice too, but
yeah,
I mean, all that money is going to go to the Titan Stadium,
which is I passed by that today. Still well under construction.
Yeah,
and it's literally right next to the. And it looks. I try not to stare because like I'm gonna have a wreck if I do this. It looks really small, just the way that it's configured.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Interesting. I want to drive by it next time I'm in Nashville. The big house in Michigan is like that, by the way. Like you could drive by it and it looks like a Division II stadium because
it's partially underground.
Yeah. Just you would think that it would be like Neyland Stadium or something, just like massive and you can see it forever away, but it's not.
And it's not loud either. No, the explanation from Michigan people is that because of the way it's constructed, that the noise filters to the back of the stadium.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true or an excuse, but it was surprisingly not loud when I was there.
This draft is humming along. 10 picks. So 10 picks is going 1 hour.
White Sox are on the board.
Boy, you know what I was thinking about the other day? Do you remember when they rehired Tony La Russa and that experiment?
When was that?
That wasn't that long ago. That was less than 5 years ago. But I feel like they were in the news all the time. White Sox, a potential Nashville team, high school shortstop.
Yeah, Billy Carlson, Tennessee commit. Again, right in the range that he was expected to be taken.
Feels like more high school like selections this year than the past couple of years.
Yeah, it wasn't a great wasn't a great college bats draft for sure, unlike last year. So every commitment so far who has been taken has been SEC except for Ethan Holiday.
Who's a hometown kid and whose uncle is the head coach.
Well, and that's two kids from Corona High School, Carlson and Hernandez.
Yeah, good point. If they didn't win state, I would be stunned. Let's look it up.
Well, you'd think if there was a school that has that, it's Harvard Westlake, right?
They did not win state.
Whoa.
They lost in the semifinals.
That's baseball.
Who beat them, though? Jeez.
I don't know, but whoever beat them, those kids are going to talk about that for a long time.
They should. There are two
The
more
kids
guys,
and whoever else.
2 more people on this team are going to get drafted.
Yeah, I think drafted highly, too. I don't remember who they are, but
Brady Ebel and
Yep.
Ethan Benjamin.
Ebel, I think, is he LSU? Ebel's LSU, and Benjamin is he's the Auburn kid that popped up late, I believe.
That's incredible. Didn't win state.
If you watch the A's play this year,
No.
it's interesting because the Braves played them last week. It was interesting to watch games in that park. There's almost no foul territory along the lines, for one, and two, the ball gets out of there quickly.
Is every home game in Sacramento?
I think so. And they've got some good young hitters now. Nick Kurtz is killing it, and it felt for a while like Oakland was kind of hopeless, but you watched them play a little bit. They got Mason Miller threw a fastball 104 the other day.
Yeah. Wherever they end up, Chris, I hope they keep the uniforms in the name.
Yeah. Okay. I think Aiden's talking about Harvard Westlake, and I think that was Max Fried. I can't remember their pitchers. Pete Crow Armstrong played there too. But Harvard Westlake has just put – Jack Flaherty was the other guy. It was the Cardinals guy from there, I believe.
Hold on, I'll pull it up. Lucas Giolito.
Yeah.
He was on the team. Like, I broadcasted his first start as a pro.
And he was more highly regarded than the other two. Like, I
Yeah,
think he was a top 5 overall pick.
TJ.
Flaherty was a two-way guy, and there was a question when he was drafted which way he was going to go for a while.
Yeah.
I think it had been settled by the draft, but
Yeah. Yeah. So Giolito, Tommy John surgery, UCLA commit, signed, and the Nationals, they just they basically wrapped him in bubble wrap and just took it super slow and cautious with him.
Hunter wants to know who I hope the Braves get. Look, I would be thrilled with Aloy. I would be thrilled with Ike Irish. I would be over the moon with Witherspoon if the Braves could get him. Slater De Brun was a name that was floated to me at that spot by a friend, potentially. He's a Vanderbilt commitment. So we'll see. Jamie Arnold to the A's.
Is this the first ACC player?
I think so. Not related, by the way, to the Jamie Arnold who pitched at Florida, who was a Braves, I think, first rounder.
His upside is just too good, so I get
that arm slot is so hard to hit.
I get why you take him with pick 11. I guess their biggest question is, are we going to play in Vegas or are we playing somewhere else?
Well, that's a need, and I would think he would be a pretty quick to the majors guy.
Yeah. All right,
He's
Chris,
been durable too.
we're about to head out for a family dinner. Are you gonna be okay? You gonna hold the fort down?
Yeah, I'll keep it going.
Chat.
Yeah, we had Lindsay on earlier in the year. Good dude, knows his stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yes, he is. Well, enjoy the rest of the draft. Keep me updated. I'm fascinated that not as many SEC picks have been selected yet.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to have them in the chat step it up since I'm going solo here.
Yeah.
Step up with your questions, your comments.
Help out Chris. And Sam, I know you're in here. I know you got something to say.
Absolutely. All right. Have a good night, my man.
See you all. Bye.
Okay. Just me now. We have got on the clock the Rangers. Last 3 picks, Steele Hall and Billy Carlson by the Reds, and the White Sox, both Tennessee commitments. Jamie Arnold, who I was told might slide down the board. Arnold was considered a top 5 talent. Just goes 11 to the A's. We've got up next Texas, Giants, Tampa, Boston, and the Minnesota Twins. And top 5 players on the composite I put together. And this is just kind of averaging what BA and the Athletic and MLB Pipeline do. In order, Kyson Witherspoon, pitcher for Oklahoma, catcher Ike Irish of Auburn, shortstop Kason Cunningham, a Texas commitment, Wehiva Aloy, shortstop at Arkansas, and Merrick Houston, shortstop at Wake. If we go 6 to 10, it's Gavin Keelan, Tennessee middle infielder, Daniel Pierce, shortstop commit at Georgia, Jace Laviolette. Man, how he fell this year. He was 1-1 going into the season. The swing and miss did not help his case at all. And Xavier Nayans at Oregon State, he's an Oregon State commitment at third base. Those are your next guys. The Rangers pick is in. And what did they do? They took Gavin Fine, who was, I think, the next guy I was going to read. He's a Texas commit. third baseman. I guess I did read his name. So, yeah. Boy, a bunch of SEC commitments off the board. No surprise whatsoever there. Hunter asked a case in Cunningham, best hit tool in the draft. I'll be honest, I have not watched video of him. I've kind of seen where he's been rated. I didn't really dig in highly on that one. I don't watch high school kids a lot. I'll read the reports and everything. Okay, Hunter, did you post this before the pick? Because Case and Cunningham went to Texas. So, yeah, I'm not sure I understand the question totally. Braves at 22, I'm interested to see what they do here. Keep Aiden in Tuscaloosa. Ike Irish will play blank if he makes it to the show. I don't know. I would really like to see him catch in the minors, get an extended trial there, because he didn't get to catch much this year. Okay, Aiden clarifies what he should have said is, yeah, that. Okay. I don't know. I would like to see him catch because the bat is so loud. And again, Butch Thompson, we talked to him before the season. He thought he was going to have a big year behind the plate. Injury derailed that. So, I don't know. You take him and figure it out, because if he doesn't catch, he's passable in right field. The arm is strong. Or of course, he can DH. I just think the bat is that good. He just wore teams out in conference play. So we've got the Giants picking next. Maybe this is a Kyson Witherspoon spot. Good place to pitch. Used to pitching in the cold, that's for sure. Pitching in Norman. God help him. So your next picks up are the Giants, Tampa, Boston, the Twins, and the Cubs, followed by the Diamondbacks, Orioles, Brewers, Houston, and Atlanta. So, yeah, I'm running solo at this point, so get in your questions, your comments, your super chats. Ask me whatever's on your mind, and we'll get to it. Appreciate those of you guys who are here. We've been going at it over an hour now. We are, 12 picks in. This goes a little quicker than the NFL. And it speeds up after this round, I believe. Hunter says Keelan's going to the Giants. That'd be interesting. Doyle's the highest draft pick since Vitello's been in Knoxville. I guess that's right. Where did Chase Dolander go? I know Christian Moore was around 8 or 10 last year. And Doyle went, of course, 5th to the Cardinals. Recapping in the SEC so far, players off the board: Kade Anderson to the Mariners, Liam Doyle to the Cardinals. I guess that's it. Your commitments in the SEC: Eli Willits, 1 overall to the Nationals. A little bit of a surprise. Heard he was in play for that pick. Didn't necessarily think that's the way it would go down. But his agents, Scott Boras and Mike Rizzo, are apparently pretty close. Seth Hernandez, Vanderbilt commitment off the board to the Pirates at 6. Tennessee commitments: Billy Carlson and Steele Hall off the board to the White Sox and the Reds. Gavin Fine went to the Rangers a minute ago. He's a Texas third base commitment. And I guess that's it, unless I missed one. Probably the big surprise so far. Oh, I'm sorry, Jojo Parker, Mississippi State shortstop. He's gone too, as expected at this point. Tyler Brimmer to the Angels at 2 overall was probably the biggest curveball in the draft. And, of course, that happens because of the slotting system. Teams look to save money. If it were just straight picks, I think he would have been in the teens somewhere. And let's see. Yeah, Sam was right. Moore was 8th and Dolander 9th. So that was indeed the highest pick in the Tony Vitello era at Tennessee, that being Liam Doyle to the Cardinals at 5 overall. And whoever had Keelan to the Giants nailed it. That was a guy that I felt like kept rising up a little bit in every mock draft I would see. And I'm curious about that because the SEC numbers weren't good. He didn't really hit that well in the league, but he was also hurt. And I'm guessing that the production got put off on the injury because it was a big shift pre-injury and post-injury. So Gavin Keelan, congrats to him. He will be playing in San Francisco, 14 overall. Still shocked, no Kyson Witherspoon. Like, I don't know what a pitcher would have to do to be more impressive as a pro prospect than Kyson Witherspoon. I just loved him every time I watched him pitch. The toughness, the durability, the strike throwing, the brains, the pitch selection, the way his coach talked about him as a leader and his maturity. Somebody's going to get a steal. Selfishly, I wouldn't mind if he keeps falling down the draft boards and he goes to the Braves at 22. I'm guessing that is not going to happen, but I also didn't think he'd still be on the board at this point in the draft. It's Tampa at 14. Tampa always makes interesting picks. Usually a budget-conscious team, so anytime the Rays pick a guy, you usually take notice because their history of player development is pretty good. Not a lot of teams manage that better than does Tampa. Yeah, Hunter says take a shortstop who's the best athlete. Worked out really well with Chipper Jones. The Braves have taken pitchers. Oh, gosh, I can't remember the last time the Braves took a non-pitcher in the first round. It feels like they do that every year. Somebody can look that up and let me know. So we're waiting on the Rays. Could you see Ike Irish here? Could you see Kyson Witherspoon? Could you see Wehiva Aloy? You could see Kason Cunningham, Texas shortstop. Yeah. Hunter says 5 straight with the pitcher in the first round. Honestly feels like more than that. Hunter, who was the last Brave taken in the first round that was not a pitcher? I cannot remember who that would have been. Yeah, and I'm surprised with Ike Irish, too. I don't know what Ike Irish would have needed to show that he didn't show this year against good competition. You got the Rays, the Red Sox, the Twins, the Cubs, and the Diamondbacks coming up. Braden Shoemake. Hey, good call. That's who it was. And I think that was a late first-round pick. And I don't think he's made an appearance in the majors yet. I wasn't crazy about that pick at the time. Felt like a utility man. I just don't think you take utility guys in the first round. Unless they're utility because the bat is really, really loud. And it has not worked out. Langeliers. Okay, yeah. Who has panned out? Was a Baylor kid. They traded him in the Sean Murphy deal, maybe? Someone will know. So we're waiting on the Rays. Okay. Langeliers was 9-19, I guess. That's who it is, Hunter, right? Again, top 5 I've got left: Kyson Witherspoon, Ike Irish, Kason Cunningham, Wehiva, Aloy, Merrick, Houston. And there's been talk about Aloy and Houston sliding down. So we'll see. The Rays pick is in. Daniel Pierce, okay. Another SEC commit. That one, Georgia, shortstop commit. So a couple picks higher than I might have thought, but same range. So first player affiliated with Georgia that we've seen off the board at this point. Georgia, by the way, will not have any players in terms of on the current roster pick tonight, I don't think. Chime in with your questions, your comments, your super chats. All those things are appreciated as I'm doing this solo for the time being. Jay Greason may join me later, depending on traffic. He's got a softball tournament for his daughter. Biggest surprise so far? Let me know in the chat. What do you think has surprised you the most in this draft? I mean, to me, and again, baseball is different, right? It's not other sports because how much a player is willing to sign for matters. But to me, the Tyler Bremer pick at 2 felt, like something I didn't see coming. Good player. Nothing wrong with him. But okay, Keep Aiden in Tuscaloosa says, all right, these are the Braves picks. Caminiti, Waldrop, Cusick, Schuster were the last 4 number 1s. Just have not worked out so far. For Caminiti, too early. I think they traded Schuster or Cusick, maybe. I could be wrong. And Waldrop was supposed to get called up. And I think has pitched a little bit. Yeah, Hunter says all these shortstops getting drafted in the top 14 is a surprise. And boy, there have been a bunch of them. Not any college. Well, I take that back. Ava Arquette. But you've seen Ethan Holiday, high school shortstop. Jackson Willis, high school shortstop. So were Billy Carlson, Jojo Parker, Daniel Pierce, and Steele Hall. All high school shortstops. I mean, is it really surprised, though? That's your best athlete. And to be honest, this was not a big class of college bats. We knew that coming in. Now, look, I'm a little surprised. Ike Irish is not off the board. If you had said before the season Jay Laviolette was still out here at this point, we would have thought you were crazy. Of course, we know did not have the year he expected. Be interested to see where he goes. Bo said he played against Eli Willits in high school. Yeah, tell us some stories. I'd love to hear that, Bo. Like, what goes through your mind when you're pitching against Eli Willits? If you pitched against him. Yeah, Vanderbilt lost a great arm in Seth Hernandez. Totally expected. I don't think anybody thought Seth Hernandez was getting to campus. He and Billy Carlson both taken out of Corona High School. Carlson was at one point a Vanderbilt commitment. He flipped to Tennessee a year ago, and I don't think any tears were shed because everybody knew that Billy Carlson was going pro. So, yeah, Hunter says he just thought some of these guys would go lower. Yeah, I can see that. Nobody that's off the board so far was outside of the composite top 21 that I put together. So, no, the order might have varied a little bit, but all these guys were expected to go pretty close to where they went. Even Brimmer was a borderline top 10 pick. Just didn't think he'd go 2 overall. And again, I know it's different, but what are we waiting on with Kyson Witherspoon? Explain that to me. Every time I watched him pitch, everything I heard about him, like, sign me up to take that guy. I just think he's everything that you could want as a pitcher. I don't know at this point is not having been hurt an asset or a liability. Some people look at the first Tommy John surgery as, okay, fine, he's got one out of the way. Usually you come back a little stronger, throwing a little harder once that's healed. It can take a year and a half. Maybe that's it. I don't know. Okay, well, he's off the board. Kyson Witherspoon to the Red Sox. I love that pick. I think for where he's taken and what he is, that's your best pick in the draft so far. I think if he stays healthy, he's going to have a long major league career. He's going to pitch in all-star games. He's going to be very, very, very good. And if you're watching the highlights on MLB Network or ESPN right now, you're seeing why. That Georgia game in the tournament, man, he was so good. He had a pitch that he had not thrown in that first game against Georgia. I remember I was driving back from Hoover, had to come home early, was listening to the broadcast while I drove back from Hoover to Nashville. I just remember, I don't remember which pitch it was, but Kyle Peterson and the crew were pointing out, all right, he's got something in this that he's using in the first couple innings that we did not see him use at all in the first start against Georgia, which, by the way, was in Athens. It was a really, really good start. So, like, to throw in another pitch in that spot and use it a lot, that tells me a lot about what you are. Hunter says Merrick Houston's going to the Twins, who were on the clock next. And Bo said he played for Granite and have seen the Willis brothers play. Beat them out of the state playoffs more times than I can count. Sorry. But hey, it's the Willits family. May not be the Holiday family, but pretty good Oklahoma baseball family right there. Yeah, where did the Tigers pick? Because Ike Irish is from Detroit. Yeah, they are 24. That would be interesting. So Ike Irish, what I've got is best player available in the draft. Kason Cunningham, Texas commitment, Wehiva Aloy, Merrick Houston, and Jace Laviolette are the next 4. Very, very curious to see what happens with Laviolette. Do you put stock in last year where it just didn't go well? You saw lapses in the field at times. You felt like a guy was carrying the weight of the world on his back for a team that was not having a good year. And it was easier to pitch around him because he did not hit at all, or their team didn't hit at all the first, 2 months till that series in Knoxville. Or do you say, hey, this guy was 1-1 coming into the season. He can get back whatever was lost and roll the dice there. But if you'd said before the season Jace Laviolette still being here at this spot, nobody would have bought that. But the swing and miss is the concern. We're waiting on the Twins, who apparently need infielders and catching according to ESPN. Yeah, tell us your surprises so far. Good or bad? There's a couple of you weighed in, say, I did not expect there just to be this many high school shortstops taken. There's been a lot of them. Okay, the Twins did take Merrick Houston. Hunter, you've nailed a couple of these so far. He was a guy that there was some talk that he could slip because of the ballpark splits between home and road. Didn't happen. Wake's become a little bit of a baseball factory. They have put a lot of guys in the first round the last few years. Chase Burns. Oh, the first baseman. I can picture him. Yo, baseball fans, you know who I'm talking about. Nick Kurtz, that's who it is. And Houston, the latest of a bunch of Wake guys that have gone highly in the draft the last few years. Logan Lunsford probably will get taken off the board tonight or early tomorrow. Another Wake guy who was at Missouri for a while. If you're the Braves, Hunter, that's a great question. Do you take a chance on Laviolette? To me, it depends on who's on the board. There's no way I'm taking him over Ike Irish if he's still on the board, which I don't think he will be. There's been some Aloy to the Braves buzz. Braves could kind of use a shortstop. I know baseball draft's different. A couple of guys usually stay in the minors longer. But wouldn't be the craziest thing if Aloy gets to the majors in 2 years? Swing and miss is a concern there, but the Braves need a shortstop. I mean, Nick Allen can field. Hitting is a different story. So I don't know. I would have to see who's still on the board at that point. Would it be the craziest thing? No. I mean, your upside potentially is huge. You need another big bat. Cubs are on the clock. Braves game is resumed. Thank you, Keep Aiden. Do you get your shortstop now, or do you get Justin LeBron, Rock Chalowski, assuming your top 5 pick next year, being the Braves? I think you take what's on the board. So many variables between now and next year. I mean, those are good points. Rock didn't hit in Omaha at all. How much of concern is that? I don't know. And Justin LeBron, I mean, my goodness, the talent's there. But that kid was pressing. And he just did, the power did not come after that injury. So I don't know. I think if you got a guy you love, you take him. And hey, you get one of those guys next year, take him too. Shortstops can be moved. So I don't think I hinge anything on what I might get next year. Still surprised Ike Irish is out there at this point. I mean, he'd play well at Wrigley. I'd be thrilled if I'm a Cubs fan and you take Ike Irish. Are you kidding me? Let's get your questions, your comments, your super chats. Yeah, MLB's different because you can plug roster deficiencies with free agent signings. He's right about that. You can go to Japan and get them. I mean, baseball, you usually don't pick for need. These guys are usually so far off from the majors that people just don't do that. But that's changed a little bit. You're seeing guys get quicker to the majors. You're seeing Cags is there with the Royals. Christian Moore before he got hurt with the Angels. Saw him get hurt. I didn't see the extent of the injury, so somebody update me on that. I saw him get hurt live, but I did not follow up. I mean, you're seeing guys get to the majors quickly because they played so much ball between high school and travel ball. You saw it with Wyatt Langford. Bruce loves the Cards pick of Doyle. Be interested to see if Doyle gets an early call-up. Maybe spends a couple months. I mean, Liam Doyle could pitch in the majors now if you need a reliever. I mean, he really could. Ethan Conrad from Wake. Okay, he's a kid who missed a lot of time. I don't know, the last half, 2/3 of the season. Another Wake kid. So, yeah, Ethan Conrad to the Cubs, 17 overall. Let's see. Best pure hitter in the SEC, Ike Irish, is what Joe says. I agree. I mean, the numbers against league play were just super, super impressive. And let's not forget, it was a great year for SEC pitching. Like, you had big league pitchers all over rosters this year. And I don't mean just the ones who were going to be this year. Yeah, Ike Irish to the Tigers would be interesting. So we got Diamondbacks, Orioles, Brewers, Astros, Braves are your next 5. Best 5 guys on the board based on what I put together, which is just a composite of other ones like Irish, Case Cunningham, Wehiva, Aloy, Jace Laviolette, Xavier Nance. All but one of those guys with SEC ties. Nance is an Oregon State commit. Yeah, Auburn's put some dudes in the bigs now. Tim Hudson, Josh Donaldson. Don't forget Eduardo Julian. Davis Daniels started for the Braves today. Didn't see that coming. Injuries have taken a toll. It's kind of hit and miss. David Ross is manager. That'd be interesting. The Diamondbacks have taken Case Cunningham, so that is a commit off the board for Texas and Jim Schlossnagle. Not a shock. Diamondbacks have got some young talent at shortstop. So Case Cunningham off the board, 18 overall to the Diamondbacks. Again, that was a Texas shortstop commit. So that is now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 shortstop commitments off the board. And I believe all of them are SEC teams. That is amazing. Yeah. Oklahoma, Tennessee, Texas, Georgia, Tennessee again, Texas again. No, I'm sorry. Gavin Fines at third baseman. All have lost shortstop commitments. In Georgia, if I didn't get them. Again, not a surprise. But what is a surprise? Some of these SEC players still on the board. Witherspoon went lower than I thought. Wehiva, Aloy, Ike Irish still on the board. Jace Laviolette still on the board. Gage Wood still on the board. Any of those guys could have been taken at this point. Like, they were all in that range. But again, draft's different. If the Braves draft Ike Irish, I don't see them letting him catch with Murphy and Baldwin. I don't either. And you've got Acuna and Wright. Okay. Okay, if I am... Okay. Industry Connection saying watch Ike Irish to the Orioles here. So we'll see what happens. Orioles, of course, have Adley Rutschman, who's been a little bit of a disappointment lately. Maybe needs a little health. Yeah, boy, there was a run on shortstops for sure. So let's see if we get Irish off the board here to the Orioles. Sources telling me keep an eye on that. And there it is. Ike Irish to Baltimore. Great pick. Okay, so now we've got the Brewers on the clock. See if I can get a little intel on what the Brewers might do. Oh, watch Andrew Fischer here. Making sure that's what that meant. I think Fischer is an outstanding hitter. I mean, the position, I'm not sure what it is, but my goodness. We talked about Irish having had the best year of anybody in the SEC. If you say who would you less rather face, Andrew Fischer or Irish, I mean, it's a coin flip. I don't understand why. Well, I mean, I guess I understand. It's probably the position stuff. But if you watched Andrew Fischer hit, smokes. That guy just, you felt fortunate if you got him out. It's just a violent left-handed swing. He does not chase a lot. Down and in, he's got to work on that. But, yeah. So let's see if he goes here. To the Brewers. And he's really – Fischer's kind of been a late first-round guy by most people. And, again, I did not agree with that. With the DH now, batter's box is a position. He can fill that one pretty well. And who knows? Maybe he gets to be better at first with a little more time. He was a left side of the infield guy at his previous two stops. Let's see what else have we got here in terms of questions. Hunter wants to know, is he crazy for thinking Aloy has some Arcia in him with a lot of swing and miss? I mean, no, that's not crazy. That's the concern. The chase. He does have big time power. Big time power. Both the Aloys do. Hunter wants Laviolette to the Braves. Again, I'm watching Fischer here. Andrew Fischer to the Brewers at 20. And then the Brewers will be followed by Houston and then Atlanta. Trying to get a jump on who the Braves and the Astros might take if that's what happens. Okay. Don't know on that one. Yeah, the Brewers, I'm telling you what, I think that's an organization that's on the rise. With the way Jacob Mizorowski is throwing, with a lot of young players, it feels like they've hit pretty well on a lot of their picks. And they played the international free agent market pretty well, too, with the Jackson Chourio signing. So, Art Gamer would like Gage Wood to Houston. Yeah, they're picking soon. All right, the Brewers pick is in. And they did indeed take Andrew Fischer. So I think that's a great pick for Milwaukee. Did just trade for Andrew Vaughn, if that ever works out, which I'm not sure it will at this point. And Rhys Hoskins has been hurt. So I think Andrew Fischer could be a really, really, really quick to the bigs bat. Figure out the down and in part of it. And that guy's a big league hitter all day. So we got the Astros next. Don't know what the Astros are going to do. My guy doesn't have a good read on that one. Did see Slater De Brun mentioned for the Braves earlier in the day. He's still on the board. Vanderbilt commitment. Okay, Nance is what I'm hearing. on Houston. Someone else in the chat said that too. So he is an Oregon State commitment, third baseman, if you're not aware. Having a little power trouble with the computer here. So in the instance that this goes out, that is what's going on. Laptop is on its last legs in terms of battery power. Going to get this thing to the shop soon. Hopefully I'm not a day too late. So anyway, keeping an eye on Xavier Nance here to Houston. And if I disappear from the screen for a second, it's just a power check. So hold on a minute. Not going anywhere. Guess it's not going well for the Braves. Okay, so we're waiting on the Astros, whose source is telling me keep an eye out on Xavier Nance here. Taking your questions, your comments, your super chats. Ask me anything. I'm flying solo at the moment. May get a little backup help later. We'll see about that. Here's we wait for the Astros pick. All right, recapping it for the SEC so far in order of picks. Both commitments and players. Kade Anderson off the board to the Mariners. Oklahoma commitment Eli Willits off the board to the Nats, #1 overall. Liam Doyle, Tennessee pitcher, to the Cardinals. Seth Hernandez, Vanderbilt pitching commit to the Pirates. Kyson Witherspoon, Oklahoma righty, to the Red Sox. Billy Carlson to the White Sox, Tennessee shortstop commitment. Jojo Parker, Mississippi State shortstop commitment to the Blue Jays. And the Astros have made their pick. And it is Xavier Nance. Okay. So, best player on the board at this point. Best two are probably Wehiva, Aloy, and Jace Laviolette. I'll see if I can get a little heads up on what the Braves might do here. Was hearing a little De Brun talk with the Braves earlier in the day. I will see where that stands. Again, unlike the Braves to pick a position player. My 11-year-old son thinks it's going to be Wehiva Aloy. He just texted to let me know. All right, see if I get a response here. Cameraman Alfred texts me and says, Zane Adams has said he's coming back to Alabama. Had not seen that. Been a few guys that have withdrawn from the draft. Didn't catch him, but that would be interesting. Adams is like, I think, a top 150, 250 guy. I'd have to look that up. We're watching Andrew Fischer's draft party at MLB.com. His old coach, Tony Vitello. Okay, Braves, watch for Tate Soothseen here, who I believe is Southern Cal shortstop commit. So that would be interesting. He was further down the board. Thought he might be more of a second rounder. Some people even had him as a third rounder. So we'll see if that's right. Braves kind of done that, taking some guys we maybe didn't see them coming in recent years. And that'd be another shortstop, high school shortstop. What's that, 8-9 at this point? If that's the pick. Somebody said they muted Fischer's pick or the interview. Hunter's also saying Soothseen to the Braves. Hunter's been pretty money with these tonight. Hunter, I don't know if you got info or you just got a good hunch, but you've killed it tonight. We'll see if you're right again. You and my guy too. Andrew Fischer still getting some FaceTime on MLB Network. So is Tony Vitello. Boy, the draft has been good to Tony Vitello the last few years. They have gotten unending commercial run, it feels like. And that's called "To the Victors Go the Spoils." You're going to see a lot of Vols off the board tonight, I think. Remember, this is a 3-round thing this year. So I think you're going to see by the time the night is over, Dean Curley's going to be gone. Of course, you got Keelan and Fischer and Doyle already gone. Probably A.J. Russell, Marcus Phillips, maybe Nate Snead, maybe Arvidsson. We'll see. He's borderline that range. You know, Tennessee would love to have him out, or excuse me, back. Okay, I'm hearing Gamble at 23, maybe, after the Braves. So that would be Kansas City. So we'll see if this goes through. All right, the Braves are going to take there it is, Tate Soothseen. Again, higher than he was on most draft boards. But high school shortstops, boy, organizations are loving some of them this year. Braves, of course, needed a shortstop. Of course, took a high school one. So that was pick 22. And here and look out for this one. Let me just double check, make sure my info is good here. Yeah, so that would be Sean Gamble, Vanderbilt commitment, outfielder. Might potentially go off the board here. It's Kansas City at pick 23. Questions, comments, whatever you got. Billy Derrick does not like the Braves pick. I'm not crazy about it either. But what do I know? I haven't seen Tate Susin play. I do think the Braves need help at shortstop. They've gotten cheap. What's made the Razorbacks fall that far from projections? I mean, they're not that far off. Aloy was supposed to be off the board, probably mid-teens. We're a little bit off. This is about where Gage Wood was supposed to go. The pro draft is just different. Teams look to save money here and there. Stuff just happens. And if you excuse me a minute, I'm going to go grab another charger. Oh, here's another surprise. After the Royals do indeed take, who did I say? Oh, Gamble. Detroit, I'm told to look out for, let me make sure I got this right. Jordan Yost, shortstop commit to Florida. So that if my guy, who's usually been pretty good, we'll see if he's on to something. So that means Gamble to Kansas City and then Yost to Detroit. I'll be right back. I'm going to see if I can get a different charger. My battery on this thing is about to die, and this charger's not working. So hopefully we don't have an abbreviated version of the show, but if we do, that's what's going on. Just a minute. I'll be right back. And that did the trick. All right. So no longer have to worry about running out of battery. All right. Here we go. Sam back in the chat. Yeah, hey, that was a heck of a transfer haul. Vols made some money tonight. Not going to help, or excuse me, not going to hurt recruiting for Tony Vitello. Billy Derrick in the chat. Sam likes him more than me. Hey, Sam, most people do. Hunter Johnson says, Susina underslot. Well, I mean, of course, at this point, the Braves just apparently just stopped spending money. Which is disappointing. I'll tell you what, they're not saving it on seats. All right, we'll see if Gamble goes to the Royals here. The pick is in. That's it. Okay, Sean Gamble, IMG Academy. So Vanderbilt loses a guy here to Kansas City. That is the second commitment Vanderbilt's lost, with Seth Hernandez being the other. Both were pretty expected. Hernandez for sure. And I've been hearing Gamble had a shot to make it to school a few weeks ago. Had a high ask, but apparently was getting first-round grades. I heard if he is in that range, he's going. So, yeah. Sean Gamble off the board to the Royals at, 23 overall? Yeah. So, again, hearing, and I guess this guy's going to be lower down the board, but watch for Jordan Yost next to the Tigers at 24 overall. Sam said Cruz Schoolcraft. Yeah, Sam's right. It's a publicly owned company. I hate that. Please, dear God, let the Braves sell. Let the ownership, let Liberty Media sell. They're just worthless at this point. Sam thinks Cruz Schoolcraft more likely to be a Vol. We'll see. Tigers are taking. There it is, Jordan Yost. All right, so let's see what we can get next on. Who's up? San Diego. I'll ask my guy. Yeah, so Jordan Yost, that's how many shortstop high school is that 10, 11? I'm losing count. That's another SEC shortstop. My goodness, it has been carnage for SEC shortstop commits. All right, let's see if I can get something on the Padres here. Yeah, Russell in the second to the Braves. I think, I don't know. I'm just, the durability has not been there. He's a two-pitch guy. I mean, I could see why. The fastball is phenomenal. And the slider's pretty good when it works. It's just inconsistent. Yeah, Bo, Yost over Aloy. That's got a guy with some contacts. Was telling me to watch for that one there, and it happened. So trying to find out what the Padres might be doing next, but have nothing so far. So yeah, if you're keeping count, SEC shortstop commitments that are gone so far. Hang on. Padres just took Cruz Schoolcraft. So, okay, there's another Tennessee commit off the board. At 25. Tennessee was hoping to get him to campus, but that was going to be tough. I mean, he was a top 25 pick by most people, or right in that range, which is pretty much exactly where he went. So that'll put the Phillies on the clock. See if we can get a read on the Phillies or the Indians. It's gone dark here for a bit. We had a pretty good run, though. I think about 6 picks in a row my guy nailed. So we'll see if he's a busy man. Yeah, so SEC shortstops off the board so far, commitments. Willits, Oklahoma, to the Nationals, 1 overall. Billy Carlson, Tennessee. Jojo Parker, Mississippi State, that's 3. Case and Cunningham, Texas, is 4. Daniel Pierce, Georgia, 5. Steele Hall, Tennessee, 6. Then we've got Yost. Yeah, that's I guess 7 SEC shortstops. Feels like there's more than that. And you got a couple other guys. Tate Sustein, Southern Cal commit. He's off the board. And somebody else lost one too, I think. Yeah. But anyway, that's a lot. It's been carnage for your middle infield if you're SEC coaches. All right, top 5 guys on the consensus board that I put together, just in terms of talent. Again, baseball works differently. It's those conversations about what are you willing to sign for and what do we have to spend. Wehiva, Aloy, Arkansas, Jace Laviolette, Gage Wood are my top 3. Slater De Brun, Vanderbilt commitment, and then Caden Bodine, Coastal Carolina commitment. So, gone a little dark here on what's coming. We'll see if we can get that back. You get the Phillies on the clock, and then Cleveland, followed by New York. No, I'm sorry. Phillies and Cleveland, and the draft tracker is kind of screwed up. But anyway, that's your next 2. Probably what I'll do is I'll probably stay till the end of the first round. We're thinking about doing a members only tomorrow, maybe to wrap it up when it's done. We'll track things. You, of course, get Media Day going on at the SEC tomorrow. That's where most focus is going to be. But this is a big couple of days for SEC programs. Yeah, waiting on Cleveland. Okay, Gage Wood, I think, to Cleveland is what I'm hearing. Let me make sure I understood that right. Or maybe that's Phillies. Let me ask for clarification. Okay, my guy thinks Gage Wood's going off the board to the Phillies here. So we think Gage Wood is going to the Phillies here at 26. Which is about where he was picked. And I wonder, how much money did Gage Wood make in Omaha? My goodness. Because if you saw him pitch, had to like it. It was just dominating with the fastball that day. Wasn't a big time guy out of high school. I mean, I think he was a prospect, but not at this level. And the weird thing, he wasn't a starter much at all. He was, I think, Arkansas's closer a little bit as a freshman. There it is, Gage Wood, Phillies. Okay. Yeah. Phillies got plenty of pitching. Plenty of pitching. I think Gage Wood could throw out of a bullpen pretty quickly, to be honest. So let's see what we're going to hear. We got after the Phillies. We've got Cleveland. Let's see if I can get some intel on the Indians. Excuse me, Guardians. Yeah, still some SEC guys on the board. I mean, if you told me before the season Jace Laviolette is still here, wouldn't have believed you. There was some concern that Wehiva Aloy would fall down a little bit because of the swing and miss. So far, that has come to fruition. Who would you take next? Would you go Aloy? Would you go Laviolette? Would you go someone else? Would you go Slater De Brun? Would you go Kade Anderson, who's a defensive wizard? Lots of good players left. I like Riley Quick, too. Maybe we're getting close to Riley Quick territory. I think that kid, for a guy who didn't pitch a lot and was an offensive tackle in high school also, I mean, when I saw him pitch, it didn't blow me away, this stuff, as much. Not like your Gage Woods and your Liam Doyles and those guys when they were on. But I felt like he knew how to pitch. And with some experience and all that bulk, I mean, he's got starter's frame. I kind of like him. Guardians are on the clock. That's a habit that's going to die hard here, apparently. I mean, you've called them Indians for a century now. See if we get anything on Cleveland. Nothing yet. So we have had, well, if you've been on, you've heard the rundown. I won't do it again. But let's get into the questions and comments. Doing this solo had help for the first hour. That's been gone. So counting on you guys to give me a little something to talk about. Questions, comments, super chats, we'll take it all. Hunter, you've been pretty good. What do you think's coming? Guardians pick is in. Says Jace Laviolette is what I'm being told. Let's see if yep, there we go. Jace Laviolette. Yeah, that's a very interesting pick. If you told the Guardians before the season you're landing that kid, you take it. So that leaves Wehiva Aloy, probably is your best guy left at this point. And up next, you've got the Mets. So I think with the composite I've done, best five guys left: Aloy, Slater De Brun, who's a Vanderbilt outfield commit, Caden Bodine, and Luke Stevenson, catchers at Coastal and North Carolina, and Cam Canarella, who's just a fantastic center fielder for Clemson, although the bat wasn't exactly spectacular this year. Okay. Yeah. Guy didn't have a good read on the Mets or the Yankees. So we'll see what those guys do. All right. Biggest surprise so far. You guys. Okay, Kansas City at 28. I guess Kansas City got another pick here. The draft trackers messed up. Let's refresh the screen. Josh Hammond. That was a name you heard a little bit about him rising late. All right, I'm going to get a different draft tracker here. Patrick Forbes, Arizona. Look for that. Louisville guy who rose a little bit late, too. So if Forbes goes off the board here to the Diamondbacks, that would be, we got a few college pitchers taken. And the Orioles are next. Questions, comments, super chats, we'll take it all. Thanks for watching. We're trying to get a little intel to keep you ahead of this, tell you what we think is coming next. I think Patrick Forbes is going to the Diamondbacks here, possibly. And that's it. Yep. Yeah, I think Patrick Forbes played his way into the first round with that postseason, where he showed a little bit more durability, and I think the fastball, I think, is his pitch that they love. So we've got Orioles. What are we thinking? Good night for the SEC so far? I think it is. Of course, you're getting murdered on your commitments. In fact, I'm trying to see if anybody's gotten anybody. I guess Slater De Brun is your highest rank SEC commitment who's not off the board yet. I would think that would happen soon, but who knows? He's got a high number. Yeah. Tennessee's lost 3 commitments and had 3 players taken. I guess that's your storyline of the SEC so far. Orioles over the first of 2 picks here. Caden Bodine. Interesting. We'll probably go a few more minutes here, get you through the end of the what are we in? Round 1C. Got 2 more picks there, and then we've got a bunch more in round A. Yeah. Aiden, thank you for joining it. Or excuse me, Adam, thank you for joining the channel. Really appreciate that. Probably going to do a members only or something like that. Maybe wrapping up tomorrow for those of you interested. If you're not joining the membership tier, at the very top of the chat, we told you how to do that. Thank you, Adam, for joining. Hunter's saying Aloy to the Orioles. Hunter's been really plugged in tonight. Yeah, my source is saying Aloy here to the Orioles also. Who took another SEC commit a few years back at shortstop. Here Brady Ebel will be off the board after Aloy. So that'll be Detroit. Chase Shores comes back to campus. I don't have any info there. I can't think that the way he pitched in Omaha really helped that chance, throwing 102 and throwing strikes. So we'll see. Aloy does indeed go to the Orioles at pick number 31. And then I'm told to watch again for the Tigers to take Brady Ebel. I think that's an LSU commit. Sure is. Guess what? Another shortstop. So watch for Brady Ebel of the Tigers here potentially. And Seattle will be next. So I guess that'll be Ebel to the Brewers. Had the wrong team there. Sven, good evening. Or actually, it's not evening where you are. Or is it? I don't think it is. Sven's in Germany. He's been a long-time loyalist here. Yeah, Brady Ebel, another Corona High School kid. That's 3 now picks so far. off the board to the Brewers at pick number 32. So LSU loses another commitment. ESPN's got him listed as third baseman. Anyway, left side of the infield guy. Matt says this isn't the cooking show. He set a notification for. No, sorry, no Jay tonight. Just me. Had Graham with us for about an hour and 15 minutes. He's on vacation. Joined us kindly through that. But let's see what I can get on. Okay, we're headed to competitive balance A. That'll be Boston and Detroit. Hunter's got Marcus Phillips to the Red Sox. Hunter has been nails tonight. Sven's waiting for the Jack Bauer pick. I think the issue with Bauer, Sven, is the control. I mean, he throws 103, which is also, I don't know if that's for you or against you at this point. It just feels like every high school guy that's throwing like that ends up hurt. So that's a very interesting one, wherever he does or does not go. Hunter, you've nailed a bunch of picks tonight. We'll see if you get this one too. Yeah. Good fact there on Bauer, who was a Virginia decommit. Hunter, you nailed it, my man. Hunter, are we keeping score? How many in a row have you gotten? So Marcus Phillips, I think that's 4 vols off the board already, plus 3 commits. So pretty good draft here for Tennessee. The pitching cell right now for Tennessee has to be just unbelievable. They have put so many arms high in the draft in the last 3 or 4 years. I guess the first one would have been, well, I think Tidwell and Doyle were same year. But Frank Anderson is doing a tremendous job of developing arms. So, yeah, Marcus Phillips, gonna need some work on that pickoff move and some other stuff, but just throws gas. Maybe not quite as dominant as you'd want. I think that's maybe a thing you look for a little bit. But, yeah, Marcus Phillips, 33 overall. Stock rose with his ability to pitch deeper into games. Seth says De Brun hasn't gone. How much further? I think, to me, De Brun had a pretty high ask. From what I was hearing, they had a better chance to get Gamble through the draft. In fact, I was hearing they would get Gamble through the draft a couple of weeks ago. And what I heard last night was that I think scouts saw the talent at this point as a first rounder, and if he got first round money, he was going to go. Yeah, I think, to me, De Brun is a wild card at this point because he's probably the best high school player left on the board in terms of consensus. Yeah, I mean, the next few guys I've got are all college guys. We're talking Stevenson, Canarella, Riley Quick, Devin Taylor, Max Ballou, Zach Root, Brendan Summerhill. Okay, Michael Olvetto goes off the board to the Tigers. So that was another one a little down the radar. A Yale kid. You'll see Ivy League guys this high. But yeah, the Tigers just took Michael Olvetto. He was considered more like a 4th or 5th round pick. So that's definitely an underslot deal, I would think. In fact, I don't see him in anybody's top 100. Again, that's just baseball. Hey, Wes. Hadn't seen Wes in a while. Yeah, Willits at 1. There was some conversation. He was one of 4 guys I'd heard could go 1. I didn't think, you would think a Holiday with that pedigree. But yeah, congrats to him. Big night in Norman for the Willits family. Einson's not gone yet. I love him too, Sven. I really do. I like him. If it's me, I like him better than Wood or Root too. I like guys that are consistent with different pitches and throw strikes and stay healthy, and he's been all that. So I'm kind of with you on that one. If Slater De Brun makes it to Vanderbilt, I think he's an everyday guy next year. I mean, if you're just ranking guys in this draft, he's off the board already. But again, he's got a big ask from what I've heard. Mariners took Luke Stevenson, catcher from North Carolina. So we've got up next, we got the Twins and the Orioles. The Orioles have had a ton of picks so far. Yeah, State's already had one Parker taken and could have another one taken tonight. Sven, good to have you back. And Wes, you too, man. You guys were 2 of our guys that were around for everything we did baseball this year. And by the way, there will be more stuff to come. We're tracking the portal, we're tracking rosters, and I'm trying to get prepared for football too. But when the roster settles and all the guys have signed and the portal is done, we're probably gonna go ahead and do power rankings for next year based on what we think. Would like to get that done within maybe a few days of everything settling and finalization of rosters. So looking forward to doing that. It's just harder to track than ever between the draft, the portal, all that stuff. Yeah, you're right. State is loaded with or without the draft. You were correct about that. Like, I think if you're handicapping 10 teams for top 10 next year, State's in there for sure. Got a lot of things to settle, but I cannot imagine a top 10 without Mississippi State in it. And if you get Noah Sullivan back, and I don't think Noah Sullivan is a big-time draft guy. So I without knowing anything else, I would kind of like your chances there. Okay, the Twins take Riley Quick. I like that pick. I think Riley Quick has not pitched a lot of ball, and for a guy that has not done that, I thought he was unusually polished. I mean, the guy's what, 6'5", 6'6", 265? In an era where starters just aren't durable. And I guess, he's already had one arm injury and missed about a year. He got hurt in his opening start last year. So there's that. But I love the way he pitches. He just feels like he's very mature at this point of his career. All right, we've got, oh gosh. I think what I'm going to do, we've got 4 more picks in competitive balance A. I think I'm going to do those, and then I think we'll call it quits for the night. Yeah. Those are some batting averages for sure. That's your Mississippi State lineup for next year potentially. And Wes, I never sleep on Oklahoma. Like that is a coach who's got a culture. He knows who fits. They find unheralded guys. He develops them. I really don't care what the recruiting rankings or whatever anything says about Oklahoma. Feels like they're always going to be there, out developing where the projections have the guys he brings in. Love what he does and the way he builds a roster and a culture. Yeah. More time for Stevens next year would be interesting. That's right. He is at Oklahoma, isn't he? Yeah. He didn't really have much of a year last year. Orioles took Slater De Brun, so there's another Vanderbilt commitment off the board. A little bit lower than you would have thought, but that is he's not going to be a cheap sign. And Baltimore has taken, let's see. Well, they just took Aloy. They took Ike Irish, who was rumored to maybe be a little bit of an underslot guy. So yeah, the Orioles have had a draft so far. Irish, Aloy, De Brun, and Caden Bodine. So we'll see if they've got the money for all these kids. Yeah, Wes, so do I. They've got some talent. Sven thinks Irish will go to the outfield. We talked about that a little bit earlier. A lot of options. Would have liked to seen him get more time at catcher this year. Injury killed that. As well did the presence of Chase Fralick, who's going to be maybe a first rounder 2 years from now. So we're looking Dodgers, Rays, and the Marlins to wrap up competitive balance round A, and I think that'll wrap up our coverage for tonight. So, yeah, get your questions, your comments in quickly because we'll be just a few more minutes and then we'll be done. Sven, you'll have a lot of guys back, that's for sure. A lot of guys back. most notably Ace Reese. And I will also be interested because I think Sven told us you might get Pico Cone through the draft. That'd be super interesting. You would think year 2 back from injury, you're going to see more durability, better command of stuff. Yeah, I mean you've got a haul already. You get Sullivan and Pico Cone back, and you are in business, which again you are anyway. Wes is right. That's a lot of guys for not a lot of spots, but hey, injuries happen. Everybody gets 1 or 2 a year. Look at LSU this year. I don't know if it was definitely injuries, but LSU could mix a match with Ethan Fry and guys like that, and Jake Brown, and that was one little thing that helped LSU sort of get to the top of the heap this year, was all that depth. Yeah, I'm interested to see what those guys do too. Did Gaibo commit to State? I saw he hit the portal. I couldn't remember if he was uncommitted or if he committed to State. Probably did. Felt like all those Virginia kids did. All right, we're waiting for the Mets. I'm sorry, we're waiting for. I guess we're waiting for the Mets. MLB's draft tracker is not very well laid out, so my apologies. Mitch Voigt from Michigan, who rose up pretty quickly late. Yes, okay, so there's my answer to that one. Not committed yet. All right, we'll get a couple more picks and we're getting out of here. Yeah. Yeah, okay. We'll get the Yankees and the Dodgers, and we'll get out of here for the night. Thank you guys for watching. Some of you guys have been in and out. Appreciate the chats. We will bring you more coverage. Don't know exactly what's going to look like over the next couple of days because we're keeping an eye on Media Day too. But we'll have some kind of wrap when we're done. Sven says, State to Omaha wouldn't be a shock. Yeah, if you're just tuning in, great night for the SEC so far. I guess. I mean, maybe not as great if you had a commit taken. And boy, there's been a lot of those. But Kade Anderson, these are SEC guys, went to the Mariners. Liam Doyle to the Cardinals. Kyson Witherspoon to Boston. Ike Irish to the Orioles. Wehiva Aloy also to the Orioles. Gavin Keelan to the Giants. Jace Laviolette to the Guardians. Gage Wood to the Phillies. Andrew Fischer to the Brewers. I think that's it for your players picked so far, and then a bunch of commits. The SEC's been rated in commitments so far. Eli Willett's the first overall guy. He was an Oklahoma shortstop commit. He goes to the Nationals. Vanderbilt loses Seth Hernandez. Tennessee loses Billy Carlson. Steele Hall, Cruz Schoolcraft. Yeah. Other guys off the board for SEC teams. If you join us late, if you had a shortstop commit and he was rated as a top 75 prospect, he's pretty much gone. Georgia lost Daniel Pierce. Vanderbilt lost outfielder Slater De Brun. I say lost. They haven't signed yet, but you would think. Also lost Sean Gamble. And, yeah, Brady Ebel, shortstop LSU committee. He's done. You would think. Florida loses Jordan Yost. Yeah. And Tennessee also had Marcus Phillips drafted. All right. Yeah, Texas West did lose its guy pretty early. All right. Waiting on the Yankees and Dodgers, and I'm getting out of here. Feels like we've had an unusually long time between this last pick and this one. Yeah, Seth, enjoyed doing it. Wish there were more of you guys here. The Yankees took Zach Kilby. Another shortstop, this one from Clemson. So, yeah, if you're a high school shortstop and you're any good, you've been taken so far. All right, we'll wait for the Dodgers pick. That is the last pick of the competitive balance round here. Excuse me, of the first round, actually. And we'll call it a night. We'll see who they take. Hunter says 2 Arkansas players to the Dodgers back-to-back. Hunter, if you haven't been following it, Hunter has nailed it all night. I don't know who Hunter knows, but my goodness, he has been your crystal ball. My thoughts on Brimmer at 2, I was surprised. Felt like there was kind of a clear top 4, but you never know when a team is going to play budget ball, which they did. And Wes Witherspoon at 17, I just feel like Boston got a steal. He might be my favorite player in the draft. Okay, Arkansas gets 2 here. Then that would presume that would be Zach Root and Charles Davalon. I presume that is who Hunter is speaking of. Both guys I like too, by the way, especially Davalon. Yeah, Wes, I don't know what the fault was in Kyson Witherspoon that had 16 guys off the board before him, but I'll tell you this. When I watched him pitch, I didn't see it. I mean, I think one of the criticisms was the cutter and the slider are indistinguishable, but who cares? You just quit throwing one of them or you differentiate them. And he's got, if you eliminate one, he's still got 5 pitches. What does Vandy do? Having lost 3 commits in the first round, you hit the portal. And none of those were surprises. I thought they might get Gamble to campus. There was a lot of buzz that he'd get to campus the last couple of weeks. But that optimism faded close to the draft. Scouting Contact told me last night that he was probably going to get first-round money, and if so, he would be gone, and that is exactly what happened. All right, Hunter says 2 Arkansas players are going to the Dodgers here back-to-back. So that would have to be Davalon and Root, unless I'm forgetting someone. Yep. Hunter, my goodness. Maybe you should be doing the show. I don't know who or what Hunter knows, but he has had these things several minutes ahead of time. But we got 200 Johnsons here at the channel that follow us. One's this one and one's the Alabama basketball mega fan. So, Hunter, if you don't follow me on Twitter, do that. All right, I'm just going to stick around for one more pick. I said we go to 40. We'll go to 41 to see if Hunter nails Charles Davalon here. I'm presuming that's who he is thinking. Yeah, Wes, you're asking the right question, or one of the right questions. Now, I'm just going to guess. I'm guessing Hunter knows somebody, and he's not just blindly going at this. Listen to this. Man, this has been a blast. There haven't been many of you here, but between my guy that's told me some picks ahead of time and what Hunter's done, if you've not been watching this stream, you've missed out, because for a few of these you have gotten what is coming before we got there. There it is, Charles Davalon. This is fantastic. Hunter, my man, DM me on Twitter tonight if you don't mind, at ChrisLee70. You know your stuff. All kinds of respect. All right. Yeah, I've done this 3 hours. I'm due dinner. I'm going to go grab that. But thank you guys all for watching. We had a lot of fun. You know me. I'm going to – there's never a bad time to talk baseball. Love the draft. Love you guys. Love our community here. And, yeah. Thank you guys for watching. God bless you guys. Have a great night. We'll have some draft recap stuff at some point the next couple of days as the dust settles on all this. Thank you guys. All the West, always great to have you. Just glad you're here. Hunter, you were the star of the show tonight. Yeah. We got football stuff coming. Blake and Max got basketball stuff all the time, and we'll cover you on baseball. So thank you for watching. If you haven't hit the subscribe button, please do that. And yeah, see you again with more stuff here at Southeastern 16 coming very soon.